Yo, what up, guys? Welcome back to the fastest growing sports gambling podcast in the tri-state area. We got Daboll Anthony Alessino. We got the graduate Brian Castiglione. And my name, as always, is James Hawkinjos. And this is Parlay-Vous. Fuck the Kansas City Chiefs. Fuck them, fuck them, fuck them. That's how I'm going to start the show.
Wow.
Andy Reid has coached now in 9 conference championship games. Are you aware of this? What I'm about to give you guys?
I am now. I really like how you don't even welcome the viewers in. You just
No, they're
It's-
here. They've been here. They know what's up. It's Parlay-Vous. Week after the conference championship, Pro Bowl week, I guess you could call it. 3-6 in those games. 5 losses coming as the favorite.
Wow.
I'll tell you that there were 3 or 4 of us right upstairs in this house, jumping up and down for joy, chanting "Fuck the Chiefs, fuck the Chiefs, fuck the Chiefs," as Money Mac hit the overtime field goal. Speaking of that game, my cousin Sabby, and I believe I'm like 90% positive his twin brother, Corrado, lifelong, diehard Cincinnati Bengals fans.
Wow.
Don't know how.
Yeah.
Don't know why. Sabby had a big Bengals party at the house. I watched all the Instagram highlights. They shared a beautiful moment together as the game ended. I'm pretty sure Sabby had some tears in his eyes.
That's okay.
No, it's a beautiful moment, and we wanted to shout him out. Congratulations, you boys are going to the Super Bowl. And I got some questions. I want you to.
Is that the thing on the Instagram with the balloons? They had
the Houday balloons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Pretty creative. Pretty creative. Saw it on the Instagram. Pretty cool. I like it. You don't know this. Now, you can talk about your questions in a minute. You don't know this, and it's not a shot at you, but you don't know this. You've had AFC Championship games, but when your team gets to the Super Bowl, it does hit a bit different. There were tears shed in 2007, shed again in 2011. It just happens. It just happens. It just happens. But what were the questions? What were the questions?
Oh, no. Well, I got some questions that I want to ask him. I want to have him FaceTime or Zoom in next week, the week of the show.
Oh, yeah, he's probably.
Talk about your boys.
That's fun. This is this week break sucks unless it's your team in the playoffs. In the Super Bowl, then you're like, all right, I could build the hype.
Good.
I want to remember all this. I want to remember all of this. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I can't believe the Bengals got there, but they did. I mean, I could believe it, but damn, strap a rocket ship to Joe Burrow's back, dude.
Joey Burr.
Yeah, he's I don't want to call him. I don't want to say he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. I don't want to say that. I don't, because it's like a hype train right now, and I get it. But I want to say he's absolutely, bar none, the undisputed future of the NFL. How's that sound? Is that?
I think that's crazy to say.
Good.
I think that's crazy to say. My counterpoint was, and I really was going to touch on this when we talked about the playoffs in the next segment. But last week, everyone's talking about, we're going to get to see Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes for the next 10 years. Well, guess what? You got Justin Herbert. You got jackpot Joe Burrow, who's got something to say about that. You have potentially Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, maybe Zach Wilson in the AFC. Like, there's loaded. I'm not saying they're all on that same level, but Herbert, Burrow, for sure, are going to have something to say about it, no?
No, I don't agree. I don't. And it's crazy to say that, right? But I don't agree. I really don't. Because Mike Williams is a free agent. Keenan Allen is older than every other receiver on the Bengals. They're going to have to find a way to keep putting talent around Herbert. Right now, there is a solid window. I'm not saying it's a Super Bowl window, but there's a solid window for him to grow with Jamar Chase for as long as they want that to happen. Higgins is there for a little bit longer. Even Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd's probably one of the best third receivers on any team, honestly. He's a captain. So I just feel like Mixon's getting a little older, I guess, for a running back, because he's been doing it for a few years,
Yeah.
But they're still there, and now they're drafting some young offensive line. They're going to continue to draft offensive line. They're going to continue to work on the defense, keep the defense young. They spent a bunch of money on Trey Hendrickson, right? And I just feel like they're in a really good spot. And I look at some of the other teams, and I just feel like Well, we saw Tom Brady retire today, right? And what happens if Belichick just tomorrow walks away from the Patriots? I think there would be major, major questions. I think the team is much worse with Belichick gone, right?
Yeah, well, it's because the team currently, the way the Patriots are set up, and I don't want to get too into this, like, they have older players that are declining or have declined,
Yeah.
showing the decline. And the Belichick method has always been get rid of these guys and replace them before the decline really starts to show.
Right.
And I think I said this last week. I think guys like Dante Hightower are starting to show slowness and decline in their play. And are they going to pay J.C. Jackson? Because he's, they don't really like to pay these guys. They just traded Stephon Gilmore away because they didn't want to pay him. It's just the Patriot way,
right?
That we've all come to know.
So you're naming guys, right? That you just named guys, quarterbacks who could compete with Joe Burrow. And I hear you. I understand talent wise from those quarterbacks, yes. But what they are being given, no. You could make a claim, and now this is going to sound asinine.
Hold on. How many games did the Bengals win last year?
Well, they were without Burrow.
How many did they win with Burrow?
And Chase. They were without Burrow and Chase.
Was in college.
No, I know. I'm saying.
How many did they? Oh, my point is that nobody would have picked them. What were they, plus 10,000 to go?
I think even higher.
Something like none of us would. We probably all laughed the idea.
100%. We said, oh, they'll be better.
My point is you can turn a team up like that. The Bills. Josh Allen was like middling at best, and now all of a
100%.
sudden he's fucking Superman.
He needs another receiver though to maintain for the next 5 years, right? So let's just do it this way. If I told you to name the top 5 quarterbacks right now, you might not put Burrow in there. If I said, yo, you got to build a franchise around a quarterback, give me your top 5 quarterbacks to build a franchise around, Burrow's name is probably in there.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's how that happens. And I'd be willing to make, now this is the S09 comment. Ready? Jimmy Garoppolo's being worked on trading partners, right?
Oh, that happened?
Yeah, they're saying they're already working to move him. So great. He'll be probably a Buccaneer, whatever. Who knows?
A Saint.
Who knows? Doesn't matter. That's not my point. My point is Trey Lance is going to be the starter more than likely unless Rodgers comes over and, shocks the world, right? Whatever. So if Trey Lance is the starter in year 2 of his career, he's got Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle's still in his prime.
Yeah, but what do we know about Trey Lance?
No, we don't know anything. But I'm just saying he is at least being they gotta that their offensive lines or their lines both ways are nasty, right? So right off the bat, he's being given a chance to succeed immediately. Trevor Lawrence wasn't really given a chance to succeed.
No,
but they have coaching, they have everything in place there, and they're gonna be like, hey. To find out if Trey Lance has it or not, it's going to take 1 year to figure it out. Daniel Jones' experience takes 4 years to figure out because we don't know. We don't have nothing. We don't have the right pieces. We don't know. Well, we haven't really given him a good receiver. Now you got that. You got Debo. And you got a good running back in Debo. You got Ayuk, who struggled in the beginning, but he turned on. You got the best tight end in football. You got a good offensive line. You got guys, Elijah Mitchell, who can play ball.
You got one of the best offensive play calling coaches in the NFL.
As I'm saying,
there's a reason they keep churning out all these weird running backs. So
you got so much success that guys like Burrow was given an opportunity now with Chase. Trey Lance will be probably more than likely given an opportunity next year to prove their worth. So some of these, I don't want to say it, but maybe Tua, Trevor Lawrence for sure. Mac Jones really wasn't. He was given a good system fit, but he wasn't given all-stars around him. His number 1 receiver last year was Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah, and
Jacoby Myers, who doesn't catch touchdowns.
Aguilar.
Okay, you hear that? That's tough. That's tough, man.
Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith. That was where they spent big.
But Jonnu Smith was non-existent. Hunter Henry caught a touchdown every week, but it was 3 catches for 12 yards and a touchdown. And Jonnu Smith really didn't play well.
I just have one thing regarding just San Francisco running backs. This year, Raheem Mostert is a free agent. Everyone seemed to forget about that guy as the San Francisco running backs faded away. Another guy, Trey Sermon.
Trey Sermon sucks. What
oh my god.
What did Raheem Mostert? What happened to Raheem Mostert?
He got hurt.
Torn ACL.
Torn ACL. That's what I thought.
Free agent this year. Another piece that could be on the move. another guy who could work.
No, let me correct you. We'll definitely be on the move because they got Michael Hasty. They
Yeah.
got Elijah
It's funny
Mitchell, they got
because-
Debo playing running back. He'll definitely go.
It's funny because when I will think about, I do a lot of dynasty leagues, right? So when I think about dynasty, especially like the first year maiden draft, I always think about guys who got hurt preseason, like Mozart, right? And I ran from Cam Akers because it was a Achilles, and I drafted J.K. Dobbins instead because it was a torn ACL. And even if up to a few years ago, I was afraid. I thought the ACL injury to a running back was a death sentence, and it's really not anymore. It really is not anymore.
It can be, but yeah.
More times than not, they come back.
It's kind of slowly turning into like a Tommy John surgery.
The crazy thing, exactly. And the crazy thing was, a couple years ago, I took Marlon Mack, and I really felt, and this is before he tore his Achilles, I really felt like, oh man, this is it. He goes down week 2 with a torn Achilles. They draft Jonathan Taylor, and Marlon Mack's still sitting on my bench in my dynasty league because what am I going to do? It's dynasty. It's a 12-man league. It's deep. You need to keep those players. So he's been sitting there on my bench, and he didn't do what Cam Akers did.
Still, right?
Yeah, they tried to move him last year, but he didn't do what Cam Akers did. He didn't, you know what I mean? Otherwise, if he did that, they wouldn't have taken Jonathan Taylor a year later. It's amazing to me, but it's different now. So yeah, Mozart probably will find a different home.
And just if you wake up tomorrow, we'll play this game.
Well, I hope I wake up tomorrow. All right,
as a Giant fan,
I am a Giant
fan. And you hear, disregarding your cap issues, right? You wake up tomorrow and you hear that Raheem Mostert was signed to a deal with the Giants. How do you feel? Scale of 1 to 10.
There's so many questions about that because it's like if it's a 2-year, $5 million deal with like $2 million guaranteed.
Well, he said forget all that.
Feel great. Yeah, but that matters.
6.
You know that matters.
Yeah, but 6.
6 what?
6 out of 10.
Oh, yeah. I think he's better than.
I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
Give me Devontae Booker for one more year.
Really?
He played well.
Scrappy.
He played really well. He played the best he's ever has in his career. He played in New York. And, if Saquon Barkley's ever going to be the guy, he needs to start, unfortunately, taking on a workload as the guy. Like, every down, Jonathan Taylor type. Like, if you're going to ever live up to the hype, you got to live up to the hype eventually. Otherwise, go live up to the hype somewhere else in in the year following, which you will. But, don't you feel like that? I feel like...
No, yeah, I don't disagree.
So, I don't know. What do you have for me on that paper?
Can you read it from there?
No, I can't.
Tom Brady now officially retires.
Officially.
After 22 seasons,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. The reason I was saying 20 is, Tom, thank you for 2 great ones. Fuck yourself for 20 others, dude. As a Jets fan, respectfully, I'm not really that sad to see you go. I'm not.
22 brilliant seasons.
Oh, yeah.
I loved every single one of them, especially 2007 and 2011, where we beat you and you gave us a championship. It's so weird how Giant and Jet fans have the exact opposite feeling for Tom Brady. Like, Jets are like, you haunted my sleep for 20 years. And the Giants fans are like, hey, you were pretty good, but like, we got you.
And we're the reason we're responsible for Tom Brady.
Who?
The New York Jets.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Mo Lewis knocked Bledsoe out of the game, and he almost died.
From Jump Street, internal bleeding. To fucking 5 championships with the Patriots.
6
with the Patriots.
Yeah.
You guys started that whole thing, and if it wasn't for Eli Manning,
go a few years before that, Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Takes a bar napkin.
What a great.
And writes his fucking.
It's really the Yankee Red Sox rivalry.
Just 24 hours after accepting the Jets head coaching job.
And same geographic locations. It's really phenomenal stuff. Without Eli Manning, Tom Brady goes on to win 9. Thank God. Not just for the Giant
Eli
fans.
Manning and the Philly special, he's got 10.
Yeah, I mean...
But you could play that game the other way with a tuck rule, Adam Vinatieri twice.
Whatever. He's the greatest of all time.
He's the greatest of all time.
There's absolutely no denying.
As much as I sports hate Tom Brady for what he did to my New York Jets in the AFC East for 20 years, I will go to bat for that dude as the GOAT. I don't want to hear... to old dudes specifically, like guys your dad's age and older. Don't want to hear about Montana anymore. Don't care.
No.
Oh, you weren't there. Don't care. Didn't need to be.
I was here for
Don't
20
care.
years of the greatest. 22 years of the greatest.
We just pretty much experienced like the Jordan of football.
Yeah, we did. There's no like debate like in basketball. There's
maybe in 30 years there'll be
there
a
may
guy.
be-
There'll be a
maybe-
guy, and they're
there may
like,
be a
"Oh, is he
Patrick.
Tom?"
there may be a
And they're like,
Patrick,
No, it's not going to be Patrick.
and there maybe Joe.
Don't remember whose words these were, but they're now seeing how the last couple of years have played out. Tom Brady is like lofty, but he definitely realistically is like a Rodgers comp,
Okay,
which is not bad company, but that's one Super Bowl as opposed.
he made
to,
one appearance. Rodgers.
Yeah, but they made the comp as like his career is probably trending more towards like best thrower of the football, great, might not win.
Mahomes, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And this was,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think,
yeah,
one of
yeah.
the guys in the thing.
I don't hate that comparison. I don't.
Could have also been Simmons.
But you have
whatever.
to understand, like Mahomes wins one or two more in his career. There will be people that'll try to put up graphics and make the comparison, but it really isn't even close. And that's what's crazy that we witnessed.
And then we'll be like, "No, I was there. Trust me."
We witnessed literally the greatest, and it was like he was never incredibly flashy. He was never the best thrower of the football, right? I don't think there was a single season where you could say that he had the best arm in football. Do
He's
you?
the most prepared, though. No, he's
No,
never
right.
had a rocket arm.
That's what I'm
ever.
saying.
He's the most prepared.
Oh yeah.
He puts the most time into it. He's smarter than you.
He's the most winning.
Well, yeah, winning time matters. I mean, and for a large part of it, he didn't have.
And he was willing to give up a lot of things in life that are required to reach that. Even think about reaching any kind of greatness that most people, even people in your average guy in the NFL, isn't willing to give up or aren't willing to give up.
It's gonna be super weird next year.
What's he gonna do? He's gonna get so bored, dude.
I think he starts to go to his kids' games, and I think it's time to be a full-time father. I'm not saying he wasn't, but it's time to be a full-time father. You know
Just
what I mean?
think about it, dude. It's gonna be the first time in his entire life that he hasn't been 365 football.
That's what I'm saying.
That fucks people up.
100%. But
We're gonna see
if
him
you're
doing something.
But you heard what he said on the. You heard what he wrote on the Instagram, right?
Yeah, I read it.
Like,
I will say thank you, Tom, for that fucking giving Boston the fuck you on the way out. Didn't acknowledge the Patriots.
He did later. He did make another
did
post
he?
after, and he acknowledged the Patriot fans, and then he went on to kind of acknowledge the Patriots, but initially he did not, and I don't know. I just feel like he's like all athletes. If you don't have 100% into it, right? If your heart's not 100% into it, if your focus is not 100% into it, if you're not physically and mentally 100% into it, then what are you doing? And whatever. It's time to focus on other stuff, dude. I mean, he is the youngest quarterback of all time to win a Super Bowl.
And the oldest.
And he's the oldest quarterback of all time to win the Super Bowl. So I saw his post. Greatness from start to finish. Done. That's it.
Yeah, three separate Hall of Fame careers.
There's literally no debate.
He has more passing touchdowns in his 40s than he does in his 20s.
There's literally no debate. There's no debate.
The man is insane. The one thing that I saw this stat. Dallas Cowboys have been an NFL franchise since 1960. Tom Brady has been an NFL quarterback since 2001. They're tied for playoff wins with 35 all time.
That's not right, dude. You hear yourself? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It's insanity.
And I don't even want to, you could say that the AFC East was weak for a good chunk of years, but he wasn't just beating the AFC East. He was getting, he was getting division titles, but he was still beating teams
It's
up.
not like he was playing in an era where there wasn't
versed
competition.
Peyton.
He was going up against Peyton all the
Like,
time.
consistently against Peyton Manning, and consistently would beat him. What? That's nuts. That's nuts. And I think the year that Peyton won with the Colts, that we often forget, I don't think the Bears were that good. I think they were built.
Year?
I think they were built on a very good defense. Devin Hester returned the kick, the opening kick. I don't think they were all that good.
They ran this different time.
I
Different
know.
Football. They were good. They were good enough.
Well, they were good. Yeah,
Rex
they were good enough to
Grossman
get
was
there,
good
but-
enough to get them there. They ran the ball. Who was that running back who also wound up playing for the Marion Barber,
Yeah.
right? Devin Hester. Was Devin Hester playing offense at this point yet, or just returning kicks and playing?
He might have
defense?
just been returning kicks.
And he played defense.
I don't think he played
He
defense
was
in
a
the Super Bowl, though.
cornerback. He might not in the Super Bowl.
No.
They had Marion Barber and I forget Thomas Jones, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. Because then the year after that, Thomas Jones came over to the Jets. Thomas
he was
Jones,
a decent running back too.
he was very, very solid for the
Yeah.
Jets.
Yeah.
It was him, Marion Barber, and someone else. Rex Grossman was like your Trent Dilfer type. Like, don't throw it away, but he could make the throws. He made the throws when he had to, but they weren't super flashy. Like I can't remember wide receivers. from
Like
that
Peyton,
team.
what I mean is Peyton's chance was there, and he had to do it then. You know what I mean? He had to. Like Brady, Brady was there half the time.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it's not like Peyton didn't go back. He went back, and then he just
he went
happened
back as a surgically repaired neck,
No. He went back with the Colts.
and he lost to the
Played
Saints,
the
right?
Saints, yeah.
Right, but then he went back with a surgically repaired neck with the Broncos, who was built around everything but Peyton Manning, and
Still did the damn thing.
no, 100%, 100%.
Still did the damn thing.
What else we got?
I don't know how well ready you are in this because this is relatively breaking.
I'm
as of
ready for
recording.
everything.
Coach Flores, go.
All right, so here's what I know. He is suing the NFL for racial discrimination, right?
Suing the NFL, the New York
Giants,
Football Giants,
and Denver
the Denver
Broncos.
Broncos, and the Miami Dolphins.
Well, the Miami Dolphins, I don't understand, but
Okay.
what?
Go ahead.
Because maybe I don't know the whole story.
So Stephen Ross allegedly offered him $100,000 per loss to tank in
Yeah,
2019.
why is that racial discrimination?
That's not racial
That's what I'm
discrimination.
saying.
That just
Okay.
came up.
It's
It's like more of a misconduct.
That's what I want to make sure. Yeah, that's the most bonkers part of the whole story.
No. Here's the most bonkers part of it. You know what else Stephen Ross was doing in 2019, early 2019?
No, well,
Investing in a startup mobile sports gambling company. So you're investing.
which one?
I don't know.
Because that's super fucking illegal.
You're investing in a sports gambling company, and then you're also allegedly paying. If they could prove that you offered $100,000
Prison.
per loss,
Prison.
yeah, you're going to prison.
So
dude.
Shaq had to sell his shares of the Sacramento Kings because he invested into, I don't know what it was, Bet or MGM. One of the fucking
BetMGM,
one of them. He invested in, so he had to actually sell his stake. You cannot have any representation into sports betting or gambling or be part of the government. President Bush owned the Texas Rangers, had to sell the Texas Rangers to become president. You can't. That's conflicting
yeah,
interests.
it's also Jay-Z had to sell
The Nets when he
had to sell his small stake in the Nets when he
Yeah.
opened Rock Nation.
right. So
Or,
those
Rock
things, right?
Nation, right?
So yeah, Rock Nation. Yeah. So that is bonkers to me. Like the racial discrimination thing. Like I don't even want to make a take on it. You know what I mean? Do I feel
Right.
as though that he didn't get a fair shot? Absolutely. Did I preach on this podcast that I want them to get Brian Flores?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I think Brian Flores.
Did we not preach last week that he was the best head coach available and the most proven? and that he was
Absolutely.
a
I think
winner?
Brian Flores is a phenomenal coach. I think that there aren't enough black coaches in the NFL.
Here's what I will say. Oh, absolutely. 100%. This is what I'll say about the Giants. The Rooney Rule states you have to interview 2 external minority coaches.
Yeah.
Right? So they interviewed, was it Patrick Graham? Is that his name?
The defensive coordinator.
From the Giants?
Yeah, that's internal.
That
though.
doesn't count, right? So Tuesday they interview Daboll. Thursday they interview Flores. Friday they interview Leslie Frazier. Hours after the Leslie Frazier interview, they announced the Brian Daboll hire.
But they didn't They didn't interview Flores.
They interviewed Flores on
No,
Thursday.
he didn't have his interview.
Oh, he didn't have an interview.
Belichick's text messages. Belichick texted, who's their coach now? Daboll, and said, congratulations. He actually texted Flores. Flores said, hey, coach, is this, this is Flores, not Daboll, right? And he wrote, I just spoke to the Bills and the Giants. You got the job. Congratulations. Blah, 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 blah. He said, oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. He didn't even have his interview yet. That's why he's suing. He lined up the interview, didn't go through the process, and they hired somebody.
Jesus.
Do I think that rule's bullshit? It's weird to me.
I don't necessarily. First of all, the penalty is like a couple $100,000 in picks, so you're not really It's a small hurdle for people to get over, and like once they interviewed Brian Daboll, they were blown away. They knew they were going to hire him. Now we just got to go interview, two guys or whatever.
Two African Americans, just because.
Not necessarily, minority, whoever qualifies as
Yeah.
minority, and then
yeah,
move on.
That's
so it's
weird.
a small hurdle. I don't think it does much. I mean, I don't know exactly who, but there are guys who have gotten hired off of doing that interview just because they had to, basically, to satisfy the Rooney Rule, and they hit the interview out of the park and wound up getting hired. I don't know necessarily if it works. I think there's a better way to go about it than the Rooney Rule.
So this is not me speaking, okay? This is RG3. RG3 tweeted before, and he said, I cannot believe that Brian Flores gave up his ability to possibly ever coach again in the NFL for something that we already knew. There is not enough black coaches in the NFL, and there's racial discrimination when it comes to hiring coaches. So he said that. Brian Flores, to do what he did, I give him incredible props because there's a good chance he doesn't coach now again. And he was a damn fine coach, man. He was a damn fine coach. I would have taken him. Now, hold on, because if he does, I don't care if the Giants, if he sues the Giants, I don't care if he wins or loses, whatever. But if he does, forget the racial discrimination part, somehow get over on the Miami Dolphins for trying to intentionally lose and can prove bribery, that would change football. That would change the way the sports books handle things. That would probably crack down on betting internally with the players. There would probably be, because it's so loose now, right? If I'm a pro athlete and I say, yo, Jim, if I'm and this is fucked up, right? But if I'm a quarterback in the NFL and I am up, we're playing, give me a bad team. We're playing we're playing the Jaguars. No, I'm playing the Jaguars, right? And I say, hey, Jim, take over one interception on me. Take over half an interception on me, right? I'm going to put as much money as you got on it. Put the house on it. Trust me, I'll throw an interception. And I'm up 28-7, 28-3 late in the third quarter, and I throw one. Think about that. Yeah, my name's not on the bet slip, but I just told all my friends and family to do it. There's nothing there's absolutely nothing that stops it. All they're saying is, and the whole gimmick behind this whole thing is having integrity for the sport. So you're not supposed to do that because you're supposed to have integrity. Well, we know for a fact that players don't have integrity, right? Not every player, but we know that steroids happens, right? We know that drugs happen, right? We know that these things happen, which dilutes the integrity of the game. We know that we've seen referees cheat in pro sports before.
Another thing, targeting. Well, the bounty gate.
Well, bounty gate, things like
bounty gate, which got handled, they seemingly way harsher. Bounty gate, they were offering players money and to
injure people.
Yeah, but it
insane.
Got way harsher than the owner offering a bounty to the coach to just straight up throw games.
Yeah, that's like really, it just goes to show that like there is no integrity to the game, right?
I think the NFL is just.
So tell me, what happens? What's the outcome of this?
So here's the problem to the NFL. You see their response.
The Denver Broncos fought back immediately.
So did the Giants. The NFL, yeah. The NFL said that the case had no merit. They were like, yeah, how do you know that?
Says who?
How do you know that this case has no merit? And that's going to be the problem, and it's going to get brought up on media day next week because these players are going to get asked about it. And if I'm the players, if I'm the players
it ain't
in general,
about that. I don't give a fuck. I'm not answering questions about
that. They're going to be fucking openly pissed at the NFL about the way that they responded to this.
So
for sure,
I think, and you could clip this, but I think that the NFL is so shiesty, dude. They have so many hidden things. Think about this year alone, right? The Redskins, John Gruden, now the Dolphins,
the football. Yeah.
Right. The Redskins, whatever, the Washington football team with Dan Schneider, right? With the hiding things, and there's so much hidden bullshit in football that I feel like we're starting to see it come to a head at this point. Like, think about that.
Well, Carton said it just, I don't know, an hour or so ago before they went off the whatever, when they went off the air. They're crack dealers, and they're in a neighborhood full of crack addicts. The NFL, you still like the product, you still watch the product, you don't have a problem with the players, you don't have a problem with the product, you
That's
love
the
all
problem,
of that.
yeah.
And
That's the
so
problem.
everyone tolerates everything, and people are just making money hand over fist.
But there's just so much backdoor shit going on here that like what team is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my god,
Dude,
So this is what I want to say about the. Go ahead.
the Shield is a mysterious being because, as per Pat McAfee, when it comes to things like like when you interview players, most players they talk to each other about this shit. They think about it. They go back and forth with each other, and their mindset is protect the Shield, right? Because that's who pays them. So when it comes to media day, I'm not going to say be skeptical of anything can happen. But these players, this is their job. These are the people who pay them, and you guys are right. We kind of enjoy the product. It's the things that we see that come out, like right now, Brian Flores, all this shit. Horrible things, right? Horrible things for other human beings. But the U.S., we just want to watch football. The Super Bowl's coming up.
I mean, I'm cool with that take. Honestly, I am, because I think that whether it's fear or whether it's hey, they supply my family with a living. Fear in the sense that not real genuine fear, but they say something and slap with a fine no matter what. They know, and it ain't even worth it. Nothing's gonna change. It ain't even worth it, kind of thing. Like, right? So if they talk in media day, I'm losing $45,000 to make a point. A point doesn't need to be made. Nothing's gonna change. So whether it's fear or, like you said, protecting the Shield, but there are players out there that openly have wrote on Twitter that the NFL is rigged. You've seen that.
Yeah.
So, like, that's bonkers to me. That's like
It's all Vince McMahon.
You described
It's
it.
all Vinny.
You described it.
Vinny McMahon.
I'm waiting for No Chance. I'm waiting for Vince McMahon's theme song to drop at the halftime show and just say, "That's it."
It was me all along, Austin.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It
saying.
was me all along.
Like, what is going on here? Is this football or is this sports entertainment? What's going on
The
here?
NFL has so much money too. Like they're still the #1 sports league.
Every
NFL
single
trumps
person,
everything, dude.
every single person, casual fan, diehard fan, not every single person, but a lot of people hate, for whatever reason, whether they have a reason or not, Roger Goodell, right? Sometimes people just hate him just because they want to hate him,
He's
whatever.
a fun guy to hate.
But
Well,
exactly,
'cause,
he's a fucking.
Tagliabue's a hard guy to follow too.
But he's a
Tagliabue is a hard guy.
but
to
he's a
follow.
great guy to love to hate, right? But these owners don't care because the money's going in their pockets. So for Goodell, $50 million a year, that's what he makes, right? Hey, dude, is everybody making money in this room? Yeah? All right, I'm doing my job. That's it. You don't need to put another team in San Jose. You don't need to put a team in London or Europe. You don't need any of that. Just keep the machine moving.
The shit.
Yeah. So I don't know. How do you think it plays out?
The lawsuit.
The whole Brian Flores thing. Does he work again?
Yes.
Does he work this year?
Maybe not.
I think he works this year.
He might. We'll get to that real quick. The Stephen Ross thing with the $100,000 per loss. They were tanking because they wanted the #1 overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
Us this whole time while that season was going on assumed that they wanted Tua that badly. Then it comes out a couple of days ago. They offered Cincinnati multiple first-round picks. Anything they wanted, basically, to go get Joe Burrow. How does this affect Tua's already probably not doing great?
Yeah, if I'm Tua, dude, I'm seeing a psychiatrist.
Do you want out if you're Tua?
Well, I'm already seeing a psychiatrist for sure. Kid did nothing wrong his entire career, and he's just oh my God, he's a man of faith, and he's just getting trounced, dude, in the NFL, it's not fair to him, dude. It's not fair to him.
As much as we like to shit on Tua, that kid plays hard.
Of course he does.
Yeah, of course. Most of these.
Do you
guys
think Brian
play
Flores
hard,
had
dude.
ever had an inkling to tell him, like, hey, yo, these guys want me to lose? Like, these guys wanted me to lose to get Burrow?
No, but I don't think Tua was his decision.
No, I don't think so either. I think he wanted Deshaun Watson to trade to go there. I get that.
I think
I would want
I think he might have even wanted Herbert over too.
Fine, and he would have been right again. He would have been right again. He did say that he wanted Herbert over, and he would have been right twice over. That's fine Nothing wrong with that.
It's like fucking Adam Gase right after he gets hired. Yeah, I would have drafted Josh Allen instead of Darnold if it was me.
Yeah. You got it, pal.
Yeah,
sure you would
good
have.
for you.
You and your vanilla fucking offense, yeah.
And just the ability that Flores had to push Tua to play decent. When he was throwing the ball,
That
yeah, he's a
whole
lefty.
team.
Think about
The
this.
business that the games they won, they're the only team ever to lose 7 straight and win 7 straight in the same
Think
season.
about that.
That's good coaching.
Think about
To
that.
be able to dig a team.
Think
out
about
of
the turmoil that
straight-
was going on in that locker room or in that front office, right? We'll call it, right? And Flores still went out and won 7 straight, 8 of 9. That's silliness. That's silliness. Think about that. That guy should be coaching in the NFL. Listen, if you're asking me, I think he coaches again. I don't think it makes a change.
Great. Here's the segue. 5 head coaching vacancies remain.
Go ahead.
Miami, Jacksonville, New Orleans, Houston, and Minnesota. Although it seems like Jim Harbaugh will probably be hired by tomorrow. And
Where?
Minnesota. That's what it seems like. I think he's got a second interview at Minnesota tomorrow. So probably by this time tomorrow, he's the Minnesota head coach getting introduced Thursday morning. Houston, did you hear who the front runner is?
No.
Josh McCown.
I heard about those.
One of the finalists for the Houston. So scratch Minnesota for sure.
Okay.
Scratch Minnesota for sure. Scratch Houston for sure because first of all, they already interviewed Flores and he was not they're not one of the teams that was listed in the lawsuit. And McCown seems to be a finalist there. Scratch Miami because they fired him.
No.
Jacksonville and New Orleans. Those are the 2 spots.
No. He's not getting hired this
You
year.
don't coach this year.
Jacksonville should go with Leftwich.
Yes.
I think it's the writing is on the wall now. Brady's gone. Run. This is it. This is your chance. You got Trevor Lawrence. This is your chance. Right? This is it. And then the Saints. Maybe he does go to the Saints. They're in cap hell. So it's a rebuild. Anybody who goes in there is entering a rebuild.
So I saw this multiple different people, not reporting, but lists of. Jets did say at the end of the year that they're going to be exploring adding talent in multiple ways. Like they specifically said they would trade draft picks for the right players, sign players.
Okay. Every team should be in that boat on that wavelength.
Saints are in a rebuild.
Mm-hmm. Michael Thomas, Alvin
Kamara. What does it take? They got 2 2s and 2. They got 2 2s and 1 3 maybe. I'd give them a 2 and a 3.
I was gonna say a 1 and a 5, but I think a 2 and a 3 does the same.
I'm not giving one of my 1s up. I went through too much hell.
He's 28 years old. Alvin Kamara. That's the problem. So
that's why it's maybe it's even like a 2 and a 5 that could be.
I would say a 2 and a 5.
A 2 and a 5. 5 could either be a 5-4 or a 3 based on
You don't like Michael Carter?
No, I do like Michael Carter. I think they would. That you just said it. He's 28, and Michael Carter's 23. 24.
Yeah.
There's no problem. Michael Carter doesn't need to tote the ball 30 times a game. Like I think it was you. Was it you who was saying it? If you touch the ball 30 times a game and you're not Derrick Henry, you're usually not even that good. Was it you who said that? Might have been Vinny, maybe. Someone saying in today's NFL, if you need to touch the ball 28 times and you're not Derrick Henry to have a successful outing, you're not really that good.
Oh, right.
Jonathan Taylor.
He doesn't need to carry the ball that many times to have a successful outing.
He can touch the ball 15 times and have 90 yards.
If you can't get to 100 yards and a score basically without touching the ball almost 30 times in today's NFL, you're probably not that good of a running back unless you're Derrick Henry.
What about Christian McCaffrey?
I'd rather go Kamara. Kamara plays. I don't think McCaffrey's going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I think he is on the move.
And I think that's a price that's too high. For whatever reason, I think McCaffrey's a higher price tag than Kamara.
He is.
I'm not willing to give up a top 10 draft pick for a running back that's probably over the hill or close to it.
Wow,
I don't think Kamara's I don't think he's probably over the hill, but like you said,
you calling McCaffrey over the hill?
Well, I'm not.
If they call and say your second
over the hill,
the
but
second
he hasn't
pick,
played in 2
the
years.
second first round pick,
the 10th overall pick,
10th overall
Christian
pick,
McCaffrey,
straight up,
and they're not taking any of his money. They're not going to pay any of his salary. No,
no, they're not paying.
You need to pay half of his salary. I'll give you.
Oh my god,
half of his salary.
Oh my god, this guy's playing hardball
half
over
of his
here.
remaining salary for a top 10 draft pick.
I'm asking you a question.
Well, let me. How does a second, a seventh, and Ty Johnson sound to you for Alvin Kamara and a seventh?
I don't think that does it.
They don't want Ty Johnson.
I don't think
they
that
don't give
does
a
it.
shit about Ty Johnson.
I don't think that does
You
it.
guys don't give a shit about him. What that guy runs hard.
They don't give a shit
Yeah,
about
I don't
Ty
think
Johnson.
Ty Johnson's good. Yeah, they want picks. The whole point. Plus, the whole point is they need to get rid. They need to shed about 60.
What about
million.
Denzel Mims? What about Mims a second and a sixth? That'll do it. Because they could use a receiver that they might be able to grow on, and Mims is big. They don't have many big receivers.
And they're probably also dumping Michael Thomas.
5'10", 5'11". Oh, what's his...
Callaway?
Number one.
Callaway?
Callaway's like 5'10".
That's what I'm saying.
The other guy who played really good, not Devonta.
Yeah, Deontay Harris, right?
Deontay Harris. Yeah.
Little. Deontay Harris is 5'6".
Well, that's what I'm saying.
No, Deontay Harris is 5'6".
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can do something like that. You know what I mean?
That sounds reasonable. Yeah.
I mean, would you give up Corey Davis and a third?
Yeah.
You would. Corey Davis is basically useless to you at this point?
No, I just think Corey Davis... No, he's not basically useless, but he's definitely not a number one.
Because a couple people have them taking a wide receiver with that 10th pick.
Yeah, I got no problem with that.
Another thing is...
I got no problem with that.
Crowder's a free agent this year.
Yeah.
Keelan Cole's a free agent. A lot of stuff
Keelan Cole's tits on the ball.
receiver room.
Fucking... Jamison Crowder's a free agent who's definitely absolutely going to walk.
Yeah, I would too, dude. I'd be fucking...
Braxton Berrios is a free agent this year, and it's a weird thing because do you pay him like a slot receiver? Do you pay him like a high-end special teamer or something in the middle? It's probably going to... It's a weird thing.
I bet you he'd have a good answer for you.
He played himself into a weird situation.
Yeah, I bet you he'd say, I want to be paid like a slot receiver. I bet you the Jets say, we'll give you a fucking special teams money. That's the difference.
So yeah, I would have no problem with them drafting a receiver at the 10th slot, but I would just defense. The offense looked fine in the last 5 games of the year.
Oh, good. I'll go offensive line if you're the Giants.
Yeah, you better hope the
Who
Jets
gives a
don't
shit?
take Evan.
Offensive line. Just stop it now.
So of those teams, is it Minnesota or Jacksonville that's the most desirable?
Minnesota or New Orleans?
Minnesota or Jacksonville? Why was New Orleans? We just said New Orleans has to shed at least 60
Minnesota,
million.
and I think it's not even close.
Bring Kirk back.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Harbaugh, I think, could get a lot out of Kirk.
Yeah, I think he can too, and that makes me nervous. That makes me a little nervous.
I don't think there's ever been a coach that got the most out of Kirk.
So if Rodgers dips,
besides Shanahan,
to me, it screams Vikings win the division.
Oh yeah,
screams.
Matt Eberflus doesn't look like he knows what's going on. The new head coach of the Bears.
Bears.
Yeah, he looked a lot. You know how they joked about Brandon Staley didn't look like he knew where the fuck he was in his opening presser. That's a lot what Eberflus looked like. Fields going into his second year, second coach, second system.
It's tough.
How much of a step is Fields going to take with
I very much hope
from
the Giants' perspective. I just want to say this. I very much hope for the Giants' perspective, from a Giant fan's perspective, that they at least, if they're going with Daniel Jones, at least air the fucking ball out. Let him fucking throw it. Let him become Danny Dimes, or don't. Let him fail or let him succeed, but go for it. Get Kenny Galladay the ball. They let Stephon Diggs get the ball. Do it. Do the damn thing. Take the risk as an offensive coordinator standpoint. If Patrick Graham stays, that guy's good.
Yeah,
he's good
for sure. I think he is staying. But I
thought you don't know. An opportunity comes along and then he's out, right? Even if I'm Patrick Graham, I might make the switch to a contender to be their defensive coordinator. You know what I mean? I'm not even in love with the idea of staying as defensive coordinator of the Giants, But I want to see them. I want to see them go for it. Because then, if it's not him, then it's not him. But let's find out, man. Enough's enough.
I think Daboll's going to find out,
and I think he might bring the best out of him. I don't know.
And then we got to find out: is the best of him good enough?
100%.
We're going to get those answers, I think, with Brian Daboll this year.
100%.
Ready to take a break?
Let's take a break.
All right, guys, listen. Pat McAfee said it best. You got to look good to feel good. You got to feel good to play good. Well, we're going to help you guys look good with Saatchi di Dinero, all right? It's the finest Italian material. It's fire. It's comfortable. And we got a saving for you, all right? You're going to use promo code HAVOC for 10% off your total purchase at SaatchiDiDinero.com. Also, check him out over at Instagram at Sachi Di Dinero. Sachi Di Dinero, always authentic, never counterfeit. All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the show. As always, best way to support the show is to support the sponsors. We're going to do a little recap of the conference championship games, but first, our man Jack has a story, I believe, an anecdote
Something to
share.
say.
He's
I think
got
he's just
something
got
to
something
say. He
to
wanted
say.
to open
I
the
have a little
segment.
story from this past Sunday. So, me and my boys, my friends, we watched the Kansas City game, watched the Rams game, and before then, they texted me earlier in the week. They said, "Oh, do we want to watch some football this weekend?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. We'll figure something out." And one of my friends texted me. They said, "Can you show us what app you use for these picks that you make? Because we're kind of interested." And I was like, "Okay, sounds good." So Sunday night comes, we're watching the game, and I'd show them a little parlay just to show them what it's about. And they immediately pick it up. And they're like, "Oh, what's the app called?" And I say, "It's Prize Picks."
Then you drop your referral code.
I did drop my referral code.
Okay.
I did get my $50.
Prize picks, get back to us. We're in your DMs.
Yeah, it's not right.
It's fucking cold,
right.
dude. It's
And
cold.
But my friends, they picked it up and they loved it. They're betting on basketball now. I told them, I warned them. I said, "Guys, don't blow all your money. All right, I love you guys. I don't want to see
That's
you guys."
great. Are they fans of the show now?
They are fans of the show. I told them to
love
come
it.
watch the show, and they did. My good friend Rosario did watch the show today, and he said he was
Rosario,
interested.
huh?
Yeah, nice little Italian name for you.
Shout out Rosario.
He does like the show, and he's now getting into the gambling.
Did they win?
They did win.
You
They're
know
hitting
the
some of
answer
their
to that
picks.
question. Beginner's luck. You
Yeah,
always win.
Well, 4 or 5 on the flex play, so they did overshoot a little bit, but they're learning.
But 4 or 5 get you money. It
4
gets
or
you
5
two times, right?
Yeah, it gets you 2 times. But it did bring us together over the weekend, and
It brought them
my friends-
together.
Yeah.
It brought them together.
Dude, degenerate gambling tends to bring
let me
people
tell you
together
something.
or drive them apart.
Let me tell you something. When you start betting more money, which you will in time, don't worry, everybody does, it actually just drives you apart. There's nothing that brings you together. A high stress environments in my house, dude. That's it, dude. You come in here, welcome to the jungle. This whole playoffs been nothing but absolute stress.
Luckily, we were all pretty much
On the same
aligned on the
team,
playoff games.
But you can cut the tension with the knife over here. Like, this is...
I guess the difference is we still wake up on Sunday feeling something. So
Yeah, well, I hear you.
Not for long.
not for long. You're probably right.
So, AFC Conference Championship game. I know what I said sitting in this very seat last week. I felt it was tailor-made for the Kansas City Tees to take it to 1.
Oh, yeah.
You liked Kansas City teasing it up to 13,
Well,
but you
Bengals
said
teasing up to 13.
I'm sorry, Bengals, Cincinnati
Mhm.
teasing up to 13. But you didn't. You said you didn't think they were going to win the game, and we had that whole argument about why not tease it then, whatever. I woke up Saturday morning, and literally, I swear, dude, I woke up, checked the time on my phone, scrolled, went to one of the books that I was using, and I said the Bengals are winning this fucking game, and I put about 5 units on the Bengals to win the game, money line straight up. Right as I sent it, Vinny texts me, "Yo, I don't know about you, but I got about, let's call it 11 units across 3 different apps on the Bengals money line today.
You're like,
So
all right.
let's fucking go." Don't know why. Just felt, I felt like today might have been, Sunday might have been Joey Burr's day. Felt confident about it. Took home a big win.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I teased them. I shouldn't say teased them. I bought the point 7.5. A win's a win. I'm not gonna complain. Could I have seen it? Did I have that feeling that you guys had? Yeah, I did. But I had just withdrawn from almost every app. I made a bunch of money in the last, since it's been legal in New York. I made a good amount of money. So I was withdrawing from everywhere, and I just kept like small amounts just so I couldn't lose everything that I made, kind of thing. And I put a lot of that was left, like 70% of what was left in there. I put on the Bengals plus 7.5 because I was like, you know what, I feel good about that. And the second game, I brought the point down from 3. I had 3 right before game time. I had 3. I brought it down to 2.5 and hit that. And I was like, "Oh, this is clean." And we're right back up in that one account, back up to almost not where we were, but I got some room to play. Now I got some room to play around now again. Had I not cashed out and gone through that whole withdrawal process for 5 days, I probably would have had a nice weekend. I probably would have went for broke. But when I went for broke the week before and really tried to build it and really tried to build up on the account, I failed. And that's what forced the cash out. But whatever. Jamar Chase did catch a touchdown. If you take him every week, he's bound to hit one.
Bound to hit eventually.
So
the first time I haven't in weeks, and what are you gonna do?
I kept spamming it. I was
Well,
like,
that's
he
the
will
thing.
do it.
I put all of the units that I was willing to lose on the Bengals money line, and I think I think I'm becoming that guy where I'm betting all my bets are straight from now on.
Straight's the way to
bets,
go.
I'll still throw the parlay and the teas in here and there, but I think I'm done with definitely live prop bets. I'm done with their sucker bets.
No, they're
So
100% sucker
if
bets.
Skroenak would have caught that touchdown in the later game, come on.
Yeah, no.
Come on. Who had money on Skroenak?
Somebody did. Somebody had $1,000 to win $30K, and he dropped it.
No, if anything, somebody had other player.
Yeah, if he wasn't on there. Right. My problem with Moneyline is minus 220 and above. I feel right at about 200, it starts to shake me. And I'm like,
when I say straight bets, I don't mean money line bets. I just mean single straight bets.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I don't necessarily
You mean just not parlays.
Yeah, I mean just straight one action game.
Yeah, that's
bets.
the way you win.
No prop bets.
That's how you win.
It's really the prop bets that I'm just like I might pretty much fuck around on a primetime game, put a first touchdown in, and then just let it ride. But this roller coaster that a lot of us like to go on because it's fun. It makes every play matter.
Right, 100%.
Has been very costly for me this season.
But
when I don't do it, and I just take all that money that I would have spent, those 5 collective units on 5 different letdowns, let it all ride on fucking Cincy.
100%.
And if they're plus 280, I think I got them at. And if they win, they win, and we're up big. If they lose, you would have lost all that money chasing Joe Mixon touchdowns anyway.
Well, you know what those bets are, right? So if you're smart enough to know what those bets are, then when you place them, you know what to expect. You're not expecting to buy a house for that stuff. I mean, come on. But it's
like I parlayed Kittle and Higbee anytime touchdowns in that game. Higbee goes out the first or second drive, and it's dead in the water. And Kittle caught a touchdown.
Yeah, 100%.
And Higbee probably would have if he didn't get hurt.
100%.
But what are you going to do?
So the thing Prize Picks does well that makes them different and kind of is that saving grace difference in because if Jack, if you take any of those 5 parlays, right, like a 5-team parlay, if you take any of those player prop parlays, 5 of them, and put them into DraftKings, the payout is way more than 10x. Way more. 5 prop bet more than likely it's going to be more than that. Where they do well is if you get 4 out of 5 you make double your money. That's not going to happen in DraftKings and real gambling. Real sports books, let's call it.
Unless you hit a live cash out on one of these apps.
Yeah, but that's I did that once and it didn't work out. So think about that. I fell to the cash out last week where I was like, you know what? I want to make $100. The cash out was $100 more than my bet. I was like, I could cash out 100 right here. The game was tied 108 to finish a 2-team parlay, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna take the money. I cashed out. The team I needed to win ended up winning, and
so what did it cost you?
About another $85, which whatever, but it,
As somebody new to the realm of gambling, playing Prize Picks, I feel safer and it's more intriguing to me because obviously you're not going to be perfect all the time. You can't be 5 of 5. If I can make double my money what I put in, right, nice little 2 times, I feel good at the end of the day because that gives me more money to play with. And the older I get, maybe the more certain I get in my predictions. Maybe I get better at it. Maybe I get worse at it. At the end of the day, I feel when I do this, it's preparing me for something that I may not want to do or may want to do, and it gives me a little insight.
Any sports gambler will tell you, you want to get into this life, you're probably gonna lose a lot for the first 3 to 5 years,
until you figure
and
it
then
the fuck out.
eventually, all of a sudden, you can't be stopped, and you're going on 6, 7, 8, 9 week heaters.
You just gotta really, honestly, you just gotta not make enough money in the beginning. Like, if you don't have the money to bet early on while you're learning, that's probably the best thing. You know what I mean? If I started learning right now, I would be fucked because I'd have the money to bet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now I know. I'm like, yeah, well,
We
it ain't
started.
worth
We
it.
really. I mean, you were even younger than me, but like
Yeah.
I started learning where it was like, it's not going to be great, but I could afford to throw $30 down on something
That's exactly how I look at it now.
and see how it plays out.
No, when I was starting, I was betting $2, $3, $4,
That's how you start.
and I'm not, and then it got, and then I.
Yeah, but you were
grew up.
16, right?
I was young, man. Yeah, I was young. I was young. 16 probably, yeah. Maybe 15, 16. Yeah, I was young. It's fucked up, but whatever, it happens, and I enjoy it, and I never even, which I guess I could say I'm proud of, from 16, 17 on, whenever that was, definitely senior year of high school, definitely, but from that point on, I never got overwhelmed with it. There have been times where I've been on, like, stinkers for the 3 weeks, 4 weeks, where I'm like, fuck, I'm just like, I could have saved this money, kind of thing. But it never got to the point where I was like, I'm throwing savings away. I've never went into savings. I never did any of that. So I've been disciplined like that, and you have to be, otherwise it'll eat you alive. It will.
Oh yeah,
it will. It's an addiction. It is an addiction. But as long as you use it as like a recreational thing, and you never feel like you're gonna buy a house with it or a car with it, then you're
it's not a job.
okay. Yeah,
It's not a job.
It's not a job. You want to gamble, and you want to legit gamble and have a way to make a living and like long-term growth. Put your money in the stock market. That's a legit better option than gambling is, because again, like for me, like, so my Prize Picks experiences, right, are not like yours. So I don't even know what you put in. I don't care what you put in. That's fine. But let's just say you put in $10, right? And you do a 5-teamer for $10, and you try to win $50. No, sorry, you try to win $100, right? 10 times. That's not how I play. I will do two props, 2 things. That's it. 2 things happen, and I will do $150. And I will say, if those 2 things happen, I'm gonna double up my money, and that's it. That's how it works. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't happen, and that's it. I rarely chase the 5. Every once in a while, if I want to get silly, I'll do something like that, and I'll bring the money down. But typically, if I'm doing 2, maybe 3, I'm going more money. That's always been kind of the way I've been rolling. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna do a parlay, I try to keep it to 2 teams, alt spreads. It's how I feel like I make my money.
What I
doing it right now.
What I found
Right.
2 props, throw them in 2 or 3.
What I found with basketball is if I find at least one underdog that I really like, I will just bet that underdog straight on the money line. If there's not one underdog on the slate and I want to make, one action for the night, I'll try to find 2 or 3 favorites that I like, lay the points on all of them, and parlay it and go lower on the money. And it fucked me last night. I think I went 1 for 3. I had the Knicks smashing Sacramento. I had Grizzlies laying 3.5, and I had OKC laying 6.5.
Grizzlies didn't do it. I had the Grizzlies.
Grizzlies didn't do it, and whoever else I bet on didn't do it. I don't think it was OKC.
Clippers?
No, it was 6.5 and 3.5 for the spreads. Whatever.
But
I want to talk about the actual game a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
First question: as a Bengals plus 7.5 better, did you ever waver?
No, never. I knew from jump. I knew
as a money line better. I never wavered. I actually sat in. I kind of started to relax at 21-3. That's when I was like, all right, let's get this thing going.
Never wavered.
And then when former New York Giant Eli Scrapple takes down Hill at the end of the half, I knew. I was like, let's go. Let's go. This is the stop we needed. Yeah. And it transitioned everything from there, because then it was punt, interception to start the second half. Mm-hmm. Biggest choke job in a conference championship game ever by Pat.
Conference championship game, yeah. I would say Super Bowl, Matt Ryan and the Falcons, but conference championship, yeah.
Because, at the end of the day, this is what this is, right? This was a choke.
Yeah, I could get behind that. I mean, the Bengals won. They deserved it. They bared down when they needed to.
100% the Bengals
And,
deserved it. And the Bengals did what nobody else could do. They were sending 3 and 4 at him and letting him
there.
run around. Coverage just held.
Yeah.
There's like 2, 3, maybe 4 coverage sacks.
People
no,
have to
I don't
understand.
even think they sacked
No,
him
they didn't
4
sack
times.
him. It just
Yeah,
throwaways
and whatever.
which
but the
Mahomes
coverage
played
held.
phenomenal. Mahomes played phenomenal in the pocket. Scrambling out of the
Getting
pocket.
her,
Yeah, it's insane.
So did Joe, though.
But But what's amazing to me is whoever, and I'm sure it changed multiple times, but all and any cornerbacks that covered Tyreek Hill on those plays where, no joke, plays lasted 10, 12 seconds.
Yeah.
God bless you, because that's insane. Because at any given point, this guy's route's going to end, and then all he has to do is get open, and he's faster than you. There's a 99% chance he's faster than you, and the unpredictability of it is just insane. So for you to say cover sack with the Chiefs, with Hardman,
3.
with Hardman and Hill on the field,
and Kelsey,
and Kelsey, but get out of here. That's crazy. And I think KC felt the pressure a little bit more than the Bengals did. We knew the Bengals were kind of like, hey, we're here, so let's just go. I don't think Joe Burrow, and I don't think even Garoppolo to an extent, even knew that they were, they're just playing. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't even realize how big the moment is because you're here and you just go. And for Mahomes, it's 4 straight.
Yeah.
And that's you've been down this road. You know what it's like to be a favorite here. We're 1 win away from back to the Super Bowl. Sometimes you look ahead.
I think the big problem here is Andy Reid go at the end of the half, because this is when this game changes at the end of the first half.
100%.
Andy Reid goes to send the field goal unit out there, and Patrick Mahomes waves him off. Who's steering the ship here, dude? You're the coach. Kick the field goal. It would have been the difference. You don't think they kick a field goal there that doesn't change the whole game?
They go up 21 then.
You're talking 24-3 at halftime?
Yeah, they go up 21 then. I think that does it. I mean, they lost by 3. So, one can say.
Which brings me to my one other thing I definitely want to say about this game before we get off track or anything. Bills fans. Bills Mafia. Oh, the fact that Josh Allen doesn't get to touch the ball is ridiculous. The overtime rule sucks. Did the Bengals win the coin toss?
They did not.
Did they get the ball?
I think they did.
How did they do it?
They made a stop.
Thank you. The overtime rules are fine. Go fuck yourself.
Did I get 100?
You got 100, dude. You got 100. The overtime, there's not now. A few years ago, when a field goal won right away,
those are fucked.
That was fucked.
Yeah.
I got no problem. Play fucking defense.
Josh Allen. Did you see that? When
dude.
Josh Allen, what he tweeted?
Pain.
Yeah, when they won the coin toss. Pain. Hey, whatever,
and
man.
And then as soon as Patrick Mahomes is doing his little old man trot that he does out to the field after they won the toss.
He looks like he's got bad hips, man. He runs
like
right?
He's got bad hips. He runs
shit.
like a grandfather.
Yeah, it's fucking, and that's not a compliment.
No.
To either of them.
No, to either of them. Fucking, he's doing his old man trot out to the field, and the graphic comes up. No team in the NFL postseason history has won back-to-back overtime games, and I was like, "That's it, it's over, dude."
Oh, as soon as he threw,
before they snapped the ball, I was like, "It's over."
As soon as they got that ball back, I was like, "Uh-oh." I'm like, this one's over. If this kicker gets anywhere within 55 yards, it's over. This guy is cold as ice, and they did. They just did well, and you kind of tell. You saw the life get sucked out of the Chiefs with every first down, with every big play, with every play, Joe Burrow just getting more confident. You could see it. I mean, listen, that was a game that was winnable. They've beaten the Chiefs before.
Yeah.
Right?
We saw it the exact same way, basically.
And the Super Bowl's different. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it next week on our Super Bowl special. But I at least have a different feel when it comes to the Super Bowl than I do the game I watched Sunday. And even for the other game, the 49ers and Rams. I think, I'll recap this one. I'll finish the recap on this one. I think the Bengals really did some really good things at halftime, made some serious adjustments. I think Zach Taylor needs to really be credited with what he did. Obviously, Joe Burrow. Obviously, Joe Mixon. I mean, they all did the damn thing. They did the damn thing, and they just kept grinding. And like you said, you you chip away, right? And you make that big stop at half, and then you start to score, and then you force a punt, and then you score, and you force a punt. Next thing you know, you're like, all right, we're in this.
It was punt, and now you're thinking, well, they punted after they got 2 consecutive stops. Like, here we go. They stop them again, punt.
Mhm.
Now they kick a field goal, then the interception,
Yeah,
then they score the touchdown, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was.
Then they fucking get another stop. They score again, go for 2.
Right.
Right? They went for 2 to tie it, right?
So the guy who caught that, right? Or am I thinking the other game? Which one was the like 2 and out on this from the slot on the high side?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. It was like a no-name special teams call up. The guy who was returning punts. He got called up that day.
Oh, it was Trent Taylor. Bengals.
Okay, yeah.
Trent
these
Taylor.
guys are making plays, and you're like, all right. I mean, like, all right.
It might have just
Okay.
been the Bengals' year.
Yeah,
Might have just been the Bengals' year.
and it still could be.
So I forgot. I wanted to pull this list up. I know some of them. There's only a few quarterbacks who went to the Super Bowl in their second year. You know any of them? Joe Burrow's obviously one of them. There's 6 more.
Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna start to struggle.
Colin Kaepernick.
Fuck.
Russell Wilson.
Okay.
There's 2 more.
One more.
One more.
You said 6, right?
6 after Burrow. Burrow's the
2 more.
7th.
2 more. Like still playing?
No, like all time. I'm not sure. I mean, younger.
I mean, that's a league company.
Yeah, I forgot the other 2.
It's pretty.
And then everybody else pretty much falls between 3 and 5. Like, pretty much if you're an elite quarterback, you get there between years 2 and 5.
No quarterbacks ever won the Heisman, the national championship, and a Super Bowl.
Correct, and he has a chance to do it all in a 3-year span. Here's another
with a 20 ACL in there.
With a 20 ACL in between. That's the Grand Slam, right? Here's the other elite club he could join. Only 2 players ever won a college national championship and a Super Bowl. Quarterbacks. Do you know who they are?
2 players ever.
Quarterbacks.
Oh.
Both before our time.
I keep thinking Heisman for some reason. Like it keeps
national championship. I could tell you the one guy's college. It's not going to help you.
No, tell me.
It's the Joe Club. It's Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
It's Joe Montana.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Joe Namath.
Wow.
It's 2 pretty good Joes to be in good company with. He's got to win it though. He's got to win it.
Yeah.
Just a couple of Joes.
He's one of those guys, and this is fucked up. I'm gonna say it. I said it with the Mets, right? I say it. You could always equate different teams and situations. Bengals are young. Mets were young. They had the best pitching staff on God's green earth. Yeah, the whole 9. You got there. I mean, you got to win it because you don't know when you'll be back. Unfortunately for everybody, I have a funny feeling that the Chiefs are going to be there consistently year in year out in the conference championship game until something happens, right? To hit the reset button. Andy Reid retires. Patrick Mahomes wants out. Something silly, They're probably going to end up being there. So if you have the chance and you already went through Mahomes in Kansas City, it seems like it's one of those things where you might want to take advantage of it now.
Problem is, you got a guy who's always been that dude who is playing in his Super Bowl. Where not too long.
Take your soul.
Not too long. He's the soul snatcher, baby.
So the other game.
Not too long ago, he was considering retirement, and now So you were talking about a guy who's on the back end who doesn't know how many years he has left, who finally has this opportunity, and so far in the playoffs, Stafford's
absolute silliness that I have to actually stop the whole thing right now and say this. Did you hear that the possible replacement for Tom Brady is Andrew Luck? We'll move on. We'll move
That's
right
silly.
on. We'll move right on. I'm just saying.
Let's move right on.
Second game.
Into the second game.
I have just one more thing about the Bengals that I love it. They call Evan McPherson Shooter McPherson.
Yeah.
They also call him
Love
Money Mac.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think that this is the Super Bowl for the people, and there's so many stories involved now where I'm just like,
are we back to drafting kickers?
I mean, it works.
They drafted him.
Shit works.
Go
ahead, give us the recap.
Rams Niners game. Rams were up 17-7 at one point in this game, right?
No.
Niners
Niners were 17-7.
Niners were up 17-7.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry.
Mhm.
Obviously,
It's a
the
lot of the
Rams are
same.
the squad.
It's a lot of the same.
I mean, ultimately, we knew Jimmy G was going to make a mistake. He made a tragically terrible one.
Oh my!
Tragically terrible, like unforgivable. That's what Harry Potter, unforgivable curses. There's 3 of them. That's one of them.
That
Jimmy
was
G was doing it on the
crazy.
fucking field to
That
his
was
own team.
crazy.
Can't have it.
Yo, here's
Cannot
the thing.
have it.
Here's the thing I have to say about that. If Jimmy G went out on his shield and lost lost the game, I'd have been like, maybe he comes back next year. But that play, I was like, that's the end of Jimmy G, baby.
Gross.
What's crazy is if my man catches the ball, it's a first down.
Oh my!
If my man catches
Can you really
the ball,
blame?
it's a first
That's the
down.
other thing. Like
It went off his hands.
fuck both hands,
Went off
both
of his
fucking hands. And
That's
Jimmy's
the
just trying to make a
crazy part.
goddamn play. He's just trying to make a play.
Like when you look at it, when I watched it back on the first or second replay in slow mo, and you actually looked at his angle and the way he actually threw it, because live it looked like he was just fucking trying,
like doing what Kyler Murray did.
or like Santonio Holmes when he fucking had the Liz Frank injury on the
Yeah.
Jets and just threw the ball to the other team.
Yeah.
But then you watch it and it was like this shot put sideways kind of fucking let me go, and it got there. It was a little high. It was a little fucking hazardous. I mean,
Afraid of the moment.
you ask me, he should have gotten rid of the ball. The problem is you can't get rid of the ball on third down in that situation, right? You have to try to look for a completion.
He was trying to do what he had to do, but
He had time to get rid of it.
It was hasty,
before
right?
It became, was it hasty?
yeah,
Number
afraid of the-
25,
yeah,
right?
Afraid of the moment.
Piss running down his
Yeah,
leg.
piss running down
Speaking
his
of
leg.
piss running down his leg, Jaquiski Tart, dude.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Jaquiski Tart had piss running
man,
down his
dude.
leg when that fucking
Oh my
moonshot
God.
was coming at him. Who was Stafford throwing that one?
All right,
to?
he underthrew it, obviously.
Yeah.
There's very few times where I say to myself, I could have made that play, and like actually mean it. I think I could have made that play. It wasn't high like a punt. It wasn't that high. You know, it wasn't a punt.
Yeah, but it was like one of those ones where you have time to think about it.
Stop.
It was one of those ones where
Stop.
you have time to think about it. I don't think Stafford underthrew it. I think he was expecting.
No,
who was he throwing that ball to?
Van.
Van?
I think it was.
I
Van.
think he was expecting Van to break harder because he threw that one like towards the.
That was a garbage throw.
He threw it like towards the inside of the hashes though, and Van was all the way out by the numbers. So I think he was.
There was also 3 guys out there.
Yeah, it was a bad throw, miscommunication, bad execution on the interception. I think Jaquiski Tart's going to sleep with himself just fine. That's kind of the mentality that you have.
He
happened.
He said it was on him.
Yeah,
and
it's on me. I should have made that play. 9 out of 10 times I'm going to make it. but
99 out of 100
Yeah.
times you make that play. That's
It's not the reason they lost.
No, you know, I appreciate as a fan, if I was a 49er fan, him taking like onus and saying like, "Yo, it's on me, like my fault." But there are a lot of things that went wrong in that game, and for the 49ers, and it was one of those things like it was different than the first game, but you can't let the best team on paper, arguably, hang around.
Yeah, well, that was another
The
game.
best
where it was like,
receiver in the world, hang around.
once they started going,
Yeah.
once that threw 17-7, and then they started going, and I know they kicked. There was only 1 touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and 2 field goals, right?
And then, but then they like Cup beat you on just a straight fly, not even a deep one, like a 30-yard fly, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't even think he had a stutter or anything like
Can't
that.
blitz Stafford.
Come on, bro,
Don't do
you can't
it.
be doing that.
He's the best quarterback against the blitz this year.
And you're right, and
And he's the least blitzed for a reason.
so. It's going to be hard, and I don't want to talk about the Super Bowl matchup. I really want to save it for next week, but I'm just anxious. It's going to be very hard for the Bengals to get after him with 4 guys. They're going to have to bring pressure, and if they don't,
Do they have to though? Because you didn't have to bring pressure to Mahomes, and Mahomes is the guy that's
I hear you. I just feel like there are guys on that offensive line of the Rams. I'm excited about the Super Bowl. I am. I think there's a lot of guys.
People's matchup.
There's a lot of guys on both sides of the ball, both teams, I should say, that really, 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 I would be very happy to see get a ring. Either coach, ecstatic. Young coaches, I'm ecstatic that one of these 2 coaches is going to win. I'm happy about it, right? I'm ecstatic that one of these quarterbacks are going to win. I'm more happy that Stafford, because Burrow's got plenty of time.
Considering size of windows,
Right. Burrow's got
I
plenty of time.
am way more leaning towards wanting to see
Aaron Donald.
our boy Hollywood Matt.
Aaron Donald
Aaron Donald
needs one.
Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen
Von
Ramsey
Miller,
needs
another.
one. Von Miller deserves one. He has one, but he deserves another one. You know, Jalen Ramsey deserves one.
Odell.
Odell deserves one. I mean, the guy's playing ball, and when he, for as chippy as that 49ers game got, I forgot. I'm glad you brought this up because I forgot I wanted to say this. For as chippy as that 49ers game got, and that helmet to helmet that he took, and they were pressing him and pushing him and prodding at him and literally fucking with him to try to set him off, hitting him late out of bounds, all this, and that man just kept his cool and was like, I'm here.
Well, he didn't have a lot of those issues in Cleveland, really.
No,
like,
I'm dating
it's
back
just-
to when he was on the Giants.
I know, but like I feel like we've been past that with Odell.
I don't know.
With the maturity shit.
You have
I
to
think
understand, from a perspective of being a Giant fan, there's always that reversal where it's gonna happen again. Like when him and oh my God, who was the cornerback that they had like the heated rivalry? Oh, Josh Norman.
Josh Norman, yeah.
When that happened, like that was pretty nuts. And I was like, all right, they're trying to goad him into it. It looked like they were trying to goad him into it. Hit him late, hit him hard, hit him in the helmet. That was ridiculous.
well, yeah,
that
and
play.
then there was the rumors that Norman was calling him a slur.
Yeah, but whatever. That's beside
a
the point.
homophobic slur.
Yeah.
And that's what set him off.
Doesn't matter. He was great, and he really.
And he's gonna get that bag next year. I don't remember. I don't know if I
100%.
asked you or if I asked Vince. Where's he play next year? I think Vinny said the Rams again, and I'm like, I think he's gonna get the bag though, and the Rams can't give it to him.
Depends on what happens with Robert Woods. Like again, you talk about. You said it. We said it 2 years ago. We got to clip him from our first season, and we got to clip these that we said Ram. Put it all together.
You know what we
should.
need. You know what we need. We need our friend Matt, who took my hard drive, to see if he could get the stuff off of the crashed hard drive. Because if not, that's all lost footage.
Really?
Yeah. All of season 1.
I hope so. Because
I gave it to Matt a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, because if we put all that together, right, and Rams, and we say Windows. The window of the Rams is a few more years while Stafford's still there, still able to play, healthy, blah, blah, blah. Cooper Kupp's in his absolute prime. It wouldn't shock me for Odell to go back for 1 year and try to win it again.
Without testing the market? Maybe, maybe not.
I think the money's there for Odell no matter what. Maybe not as much for the Rams, but he's still going to make millions on the Rams.
Yeah, but there's like a $90 million bag somewhere
No.
for him. I think so.
No.
I think so.
I don't think the happiness is there.
Just a quick.
You have to
little thing.
understand.
I think that bag. Just a little early speculation. I think that bag lies in Green Bay.
No.
It's coming from the fucking New York Jets. Let's go, baby.
See what I'm saying? That's disgusting. I'd rather make less money and have my sanity than go back to New York. Where
Yeah, Odell's not coming back to New York. He doesn't like the cold.
I'm gonna piggyback off you for a second. Surprise, Jordan Love's good. Let's believe that surprise, and let's believe that Odell Beckham might want a part of that.
No. Here's what I will say.
No. You're saying that Devontae leaves though.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, 100%.
I don't
saying,
think he'll go.
Get him out.
I don't think he would go to Green Bay.
Go get the.
'Cause you're silly, 'cause-
How about this though? One of the reasons he hated New York, he said he doesn't like snow, he doesn't like the winter.
Oh, shut up.
Hated Cleveland.
Shut
He's
up.
in LA. He loves
Shut up.
No, I won't
That's
shut up.
bullshit.
You shut up
That's
and you
bullshit.
listen to me.
That's bullshit.
He loves everyone. He loves LA, right?
Great.
Loves being there.
Yeah.
Loves the lifestyle.
Chargers?
The Chargers.
You don't have to fucking... Yeah, I know. I'm on the same wavelength. We do this
Have-
show together. I know. I understand what you're getting at. I get it. Mike Williams is
They
gone.
will have an opening there. They
Yeah.
will have the money to spend.
Great. Love that fit. Fucking love that fit.
I would love to see
But-
Odell in the Chargers.
I hate anybody that says... I don't hate you. I'm saying I hate the notion that... Oh, New York. Like, fuck, I don't want to go to New York. Like, everybody wants to come to New York. Stop it.
He
the money...
chased himself out of New York.
Well, yeah, because
He pushed himself out.
it's his own
I don't
fault.
like drinking water. I don't like snow. It's cold in New York. Blah, 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 blah. And next thing you know, he gets sent to
Next thing you know, he's pissing
Cleveland.
on goalposts.
To
And,
believe land, dude.
well, whatever. I'm just saying that, I guess his star's already made, so he doesn't need it, right? At this point in his career, his star's already made.
Yeah.
Everybody already knows who Odell Beckham Jr. is, right? But, hey, Chargers is a good fit. I'm not against it. Now, just say he signs a bag with the Ravens. I think that's a horrible fit.
Terrible.
right? So
Terrible.
you have to look at it that way. Like,
Terrible
you know what I
for
mean?
all parties involved.
Let's just say Beckham has a very short list of 6 to 8 quarterbacks he wants to play with. Is that fair to say?
I think it's shorter than
Probably
that.
shorter than that.
Well, let's just say it's 6 to 8. And then out of those 6 to 8, there's fucking 3 climates that he wants to play in out of those 6 to 8. You're literally looking at Herbert. You're looking at, right? You're looking at the Rams, right? So if that's what we're doing, you're literally we're pigeonholing ourselves here.
Pigeonholing
We're gonna go to Jacksonville?
No.
Like,
No.
what are you doing?
No.
Right? So that's But anyway, the
What about
Rams.
Arizona.
No, I don't think that money is
He'll
gonna be
hang
spent
out
there.
with Starvin Marvin.
No, yeah, him and Starvin Marvin, dude. The Cardinals have DeAndre Hopkins. They have Christian Kirk, who played pretty well. They have Rondell Moore, who has a lot of upside. They got guys. I don't necessarily know that their problem is I don't know what their problem. I
It's
don't.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, I mean
The
they have
problem's Cliff Kingsbury.
they have the talent. I don't know what the problem
The
is.
problem is Kyler's soft in the winter, dude. As the season goes
Right,
on
that's,
and Kyler gets hit more, he gets more banged up. He doesn't make the same decisions. He's holds on to the ball, I would say, in the pocket a little bit more.
Who?
Until he's not that, that's what he is to me. Sorry, it's harsh, but that's my take on it. Early line, as we said, we're saving a lot of everything for next week. The early line on the game is Rams -4.
Right.
And what I have to say on it, and this is how I'll leave the floors you guys for the end. If you've watched the show at all for the last calendar year, you know where my money lies.
And if you've watched the show for the past year, you know where my money lies.
So you're going opposite, and then there's me in the middle.
Seems that way.
I agree with one of you. I'm going to save it for next week. Listen, really quick. Most cap space is Miami, and then it's the Chargers. So really good idea.
Jets are in there too.
Jets are
Sixth.
Yeah, sixth. So really, really good idea to send them to the Chargers. That's like a dream scenario. That's very good. Very good job. Cincinnati's also 4th. So tough. Where's the Rams? 26th.
Yeah, but what
Giants are 28th. Makes me
yeah,
want to
but,
vomit.
but what that little chart or graph or whatever PFF wherever you're on,
Okay, go ahead.
tank it down. What that little list doesn't show you is who do they need to bring back, because Jesse Bates is a free agent.
100% Jesse Bates is gonna sign a bag and a half.
New York Jets.
Okay. You can't just say it to everybody. You
New York
did good,
Jets.
so I don't want you to overdo it now. I don't wanna
Is he not a
overdo it.
fit? Marcus
He
May's
is a
gonna
good
leave.
fit.
Marcus
He is
May's out of here.
Okay, he's a fit, but again, he's on a championship
know.
contending team.
I know.
Will he make the jump to cold New
But
York?
here's the thing: in football more than any sport, you only have such a window to make money.
100%.
So, I love the Cincinnati Bengals. It's a championship caliber team, but he's hitting. This is going to be his first contract post rookie
Yeah.
deal, right? This is where you get the big.
This is the
Usually your first and only bite at the apple.
yes.
So if the difference is $32 million guaranteed in Cincy, or $53 million guaranteed elsewhere,
Then you go,
even if
yeah,
it's
I
the
get
New
it. You
York
go,
Jets,
you go.
then you go. CJ Mosley left the
But
championship.
if it's 38 and 44, think about it.
yeah, but
New York tax is bullshit, dude. You got to remember that. Like,
how much better is Ohio?
I don't
Whatever.
know, but I know New
We
York's is the
digress.
most. Listen, next week's episode,
The big game extravaganza.
big game extravaganza, prop bets galore. I guess I'm gonna
What
put
color
some
is the
in,
Gatorade?
I'm gonna put
is
some
your
in
sister
live.
going to the game?
I'm gonna put some in live. I don't know I'm gonna put some in live. I'm gonna go for it. Exactly what we said before. Don't do is gonna be the entire podcast.
That's what the
next
Super
week.
Bowl's for.
Right, 100%.
What I would advise is fuck boxes. Don't do boxes.
Oh, no, well-
I think they suck.
I got boxes that you got to do too at the shop. But anyway,
Dude, I don't fucking do
you
those
have to
boxes
do one.
anymore.
It's $20. You have to do one.
Why do I have to do one?
We got to fill it up.
So
you got to do one
so
too.
your aunt can win again?
No, well, there's no
You
hands
don't
left.
have any hands
Yeah, come on, come on. How could you? So yeah,
right.
Super Bowl extravaganza next week. Prop bets, Super Bowl predictions, MVP predictions. the
Hopefully,
whole
cousin
nine.
Sebby on the fucking line.
Yeah, let's do it. Looking
All right,
forward to it.
let's close it out. As always, House of Havoc Podcasting, Tiger Pack Productions, Stay Thirsty Company, and Sachi Di Gennaro. Peace out.